Good morning, beautiful people out there in the world of sports. My name is Dick Mark George, and you're watching Rate Game Live. This is a show that comes to you every morning. So today is Monday, April 6th, 2026. And it's a show that is the only show. So it's therefore the number one show where a husband and wife are producing the show, and the fans on Rate Game are shaping the show. So fans shape the show by rating the games, and I, your host, talk about them every morning, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., and on the weekends, 11. I think that's our new time. And the way that we start each, my producer's already fed up with me. We're 2 minutes in, folks, and I'm already getting just way too long. She's like, keep it short. Happy Easter Monday. Wow.
Why are you talking?
Why am I talking? Maybe I need a sip of my coffee. Uh-oh. The double whammy, folks. We're off and running on this Monday. Good morning, Kuzi. Happy Easter to you. Happy Easter Monday. Do folks have off? Is that what this is? Well, not us. Every day is a work day over here, if you want to call it that. So this is Rate Game Live. It's a morning show. You shape the show. We kick it off with a segment called Were the Sports Good? And here's how that works. Basically, in the world that was 24 hours ago, we take a little snapshot and we say, how were the sports out of 10? And looking at the numbers here, based on the ratings that you, the sports fans, gave us, we can say it's a mixed bag. We were very close looking at this at a 661 to going green, folks. And a green in this world is astounding. That means the sports were, on average, remarkably good. So very, very close. And here's why. We had 3 leagues in action, 34 games played. So we had a full slate in the MLB, and we had some basketball and NHL sprinkled in. 2 out of the 3 leagues went green. But baseball, being that it was so heavy, there were 16 games, and so therefore the most ratings kind of dragged it down a little bit. So overall, I would say better than most. We had 383 ratings submitted, 34 games played, 3 leagues active, and then overall there was almost 1,000 ratings submitted on the platform. That's 960. That's the people going back in time, finding their favorite games, remembering games that mattered to them, throwing up a rating, and then keeping it moving. So that kind of segues into the next thing that we do here, which is Road to 1 million. And same like the previous segment, we say, okay, how are we doing towards our little goal, which is 7 figures, 2 commas on the rating symbol? We are slowly but surely making our way there. We do it in bands of 100,000. So right now, we're 9.1% of the way to our next 100,000, which was 300K. We just passed 200,000 a couple weeks ago. And we're about 1/5 of the way to the promised land, 20.9%. That's a million ratings. We got 209,000 on the books, about to crack 210,000. I predict we see that tomorrow morning. So stay with us. Thank you for rating. We appreciate you. We see you. You shape the show. All right. We do have an action-packed Monday for you, starting off with the return of one of my favorite basketball players of all time, probably one of yours too. He goes by Wardell on his birth certificate, Wardell Curry. For those of you that don't know, I'm sure that includes my wife, my producer over here. Yeah, she's shaking her head like, who is this? Who is Wardell? Wardell is one of the greatest shooters of all time. And up until last night, he had been out of the game. He had been nursing an injury, and he was taking his time on the comeback because, you know, he's no spring chicken. He is in my generation of players with LeBron, with Kevin Durant, with all the greats that are, you know, in their final chapter here. So when he plays basketball, especially coming back from injury, you better pay attention. You better watch. And he came back last night, didn't show really any signs of rust. So I logged on this morning and I went right to the top games, and I saw that this guy was sitting pretty at an 8.7. So I said, what's going on here? I totally forgot Steph was even coming back, and he played KD. So these two, some of the greatest basketball players of this generation, they were both on the Olympic team. In fact, I think Kevin Durant was the one who passed Steph Curry the ball for his golden medal signature night sleeper. So I saw that this was an 8.7, and very rare to see that a player of the game goes to somebody on the losing team. So obviously did some research here, and obviously Steph still got it. So we go to a little videotape. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull up some Steph Curry highlights because he was in his bag. Okay, if I do the sound, here we go. Want to go to media?
No.
And it's Curry looking to put the moves, and he does with a hesitation. And the finish! Gifted Steph Curry with a chance for three. Spencer. Curry. Three ball. Curry. Back from Peyton. Oh, tough three! Like he's never left.
Stephen Curry between two Rocket defenders. Like it had eyes, people.
Rip, got it back. 3 to shoot. Deep one for Curry.
Actually, the opportunity to win this game too. And here we go. Draymond.
Across. 6 seconds left. Curry gets a screen. 3 seconds left. Curry, step back. Missed it. And Houston is going to come away with a clutch win. That will not
See Draymond.
on the 1 remaining. Houston is going to come. And Houston is going to come away with a
coaching, always coaching.
That will not count
I
on the.
give Draymond a lot of crap because he's just so vocal, but I do appreciate that. He's a floor general in the purest sense of the word. He's always coaching up the younger guys, especially in situations like that where it's crunch time. And he's usually the screener for Steph. He's usually the guy that sets up Steph for that shot that didn't go in, the game-winning, what would have been the game-winning shot. So I appreciate that fact that he uses that opportunity to coach up the younger. I think that was Podsnetsky, that Polish guy. So Steph comes back. They don't win, but I think we'll see them in the playoffs. So very good to have him back, and it's also a good sign for my youth that these guys are still making an impact in the NBA. Talking about Steph, KD, and of course my guy LeBron James. So last night we also had a matchup that was one for the history books. And I say this every time the guy plays. That's why we talk about him on the show. But until he stops making history, I'm not going to stop talking about him. Last night we had him, and so he's the oldest player in the NBA, and he played Cooper Flagg, the youngest player in the NBA. So that's why this was historic. This was the first time in NBA history that a 40-year-old player, 41-year-old player, I'll say it one more time. He's 41 years old, ladies and gentlemen. He's 6 years older than your boy. Played a 19-year-old in Cooper Flagg. So Cooper Flagg is the youngest player in the NBA, and LeBron James is the oldest player in the NBA.
Yeah, try not to mention LeBron James.
Impossible. It really is, honestly. And I, you have an idea about the show in your head, and you come on, and then you wake up in the morning, and it's like, wow, this is actually super interesting. This is actually, not even trying to be a glazer here. It's just fascinating stuff. He's an old man, and he's still doing it. So going into, my research for this one, and the first thing that I see, which I thought was so funny, so LeBron, because the Lakers, because they're so undermanned, who is getting run here? You want to switch it? Mm-hmm. Who is getting run here but LeBron's son? And last night, I think we had the first genuine father-son moment where dad is getting angry at son.
too, huh? Yes. Watch this look as son. Bounce pass. And then there was the one afterwards that you knew the dad was coming out as well. He was like, hold on, look, hey. No, that was also LeBron the dad.
He's supposed to feel the bouncer there.
Watch this look.
Look out of bounds. He's like, come on.
Bounce pass. And then there was the one afterwards that you knew the dad was coming out as well. He was like, hold on, look, hey.
You look at that. Look at Bronny's look. All right, so going back to I had this on my profile.
Are you sharing the right screen?
Yeah. I put it on. We can actually just let this play. We don't know.
Switches direct. Great line for the basket. And one. Speaking of cruising, going at it again. Got it again.
He's the youngest player in the NBA, Cooper Flagg.
First quarter for Cooper Flagg.
And nobody's going to feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
It's still going to go. People are still competing to win.
4 to shoot. Flagg stepping back for 3. Got them all.
Right on cue. I wasn't dunking like that either, so he can wear his own shirt.
Oh, this is old man Tom.
Here goes LeBron again. Timeout Dallas.
Yeah, this is a game.
He's got space here for 3 if he wants it. And he makes it. James, 8 of 9 from the field. He has scored or assisted on the last 17. Minimum 500 attempts.
Luke Kennard has a double.
James taken away. Hachimura. James running in the middle. LeBron all the way home. And 1. And that's a little piece of NBA history.
Love that. Mike Tirico, man. Shout out to Garrett. He is at the top of the game. He is the LeBron James of color commentating right now. So yeah, last night we had that. We had Wardell. Let me go now to this game because I think Flame wrote an incredible post about my guy Cooper, who is in the last 2 games. I think he very much flipped the script here. Yes, Cooper Flagg has the answer. Okay, so Flame put a little Did You Know trivia post on this one, and I think it deserves our attention. So Cooper Flagg has the answer. Cooper Flagg became the first rookie since Allen Iverson to put up back-to-back 40-point games. This is also the 4th 40-point game of his season, extending his record for most 40-point games in a season for a teenager. Anthony Edwards and LeBron James are the only other teenagers with multiple 40-point games. They each have 2. Everyone else has 1 or none. As if that wasn't crazy enough, Flagg has become the first rookie since Iverson to put up more 3 40-point games in their rookie season. More than 3. Okay. Every other rookie to do it either played before the 3-point line was established or was Michael Jordan. Side note, this is the first time Flagg has won a game when he scores 40 points. That's crazy. I repeat, the kid is good. So the game before this, he scored 50 and they lost, which is why I think that last line is incredible. It's the first time he scored 40 and they won. So not always a winning effort when he scores all these points, which I think says a lot about the state of the Dallas Mavericks. But I think these past 2 games, in 2 games, right? So there's 4 games left in the season for some of these teams. He was losing the Rookie of the Year race. I think his roommate, Con Kneppel, was in the lead. And I think he's now, with these past 2 performances, completely flipped the script. I think he will now win Rookie of the Year. I think he's definitely in the lead. Depends on how these last 4 games go. But I think with these 2 performances, we will see Cooper Flagg deservedly win Rookie of the Year. I know Khan has hit all those threes, but this guy is like a Swiss Army knife. He's got all the tools. So Dallas Mavericks got so lucky by getting this guy after Nico Harrison nearly sabotaged the franchise. And Luka Doncic, the #1 Mavericks fan, this guy went through it, man. I remember when the Luka trade broke, he was in shambles. And so Cooper Flagg, this guy loves Cooper Flagg.
Says, if nothing else, recency bias is going to help Flagg.
Recency bias? Yes. Yes, I agree. Absolutely. That's why it's so important to have, these performances this late in the season because the voters absolutely can be swayed with stuff like that. And, you know, it's not like he's putting up 20 points. It's like, you know, 50-point game, 40-point game. And the stat sheet is absolutely filled. And now they win a game. I think you'd be hard to vote against him. Yes, absolutely, Kuzi. Absolutely agree. Especially with award season. It's what it's all about. Shy Glazer says, "Let carry the whole effing team." I mean, I think this is just par for the course with LeBron, especially in like these twilight years. It sucks. It always seems like, especially when they get to the playoffs, everybody around him like crumbles and breaks down. But the 41-year-old guy with all the miles on his body, who's played in the most games ever, who's been to the most finals ever, like all the stuff that would tell you that he should be the one on the sidelines. He's just an anomaly, man. He's like a scientific miracle. It's incredible. There's a reason.
I hope he wins.
You hope he wins? Wins what?
Everything.
My producer hope LeBron wins everything. That's so sweet. He's not going to, but I appreciate that sentiment. That's really nice of you to say. All right, so that was Cooper Flagg, old versus young. We now switch gears a little bit and we go to baseball land, where there was a massive, massive slate yesterday. Back to the games. We'll find our little MLB. Rooker rocks, yeah. So we had a walk-off in absolute dramatic fashion. I was like kind of scrolling the circles as I do. You know, you look for the stoplights, you look for yellows and greens. And I saw this guy popped out as the highest green at 8.4, just to show you guys the whole table here, the whole menu. So I clicked in and I saw that my guy, Brett Rooker, had his 100th and 100.
Who's an athlete that shines bright when the pressure's on? Aaron Judge.
Kuzi, careful, Kuzi. Your Jays aren't so hot right now. Jays are off to a tough start this year after last year kind of set the bar super high for you guys. I hope that you're not, I hope that you guys are up to the task. You guys got to right the ship here. But I appreciate your Judge shade. All right, so this game, obviously super high scoring, 12-10 in a baseball game. You love to see that. That means the offense was going off. Looking at the box score here, just saying how his game took shape. We had a tie game, so this went to extras. And then the Astros put up the first run in the 10th, meaning that, you know, they were in line to win it. So this was a walk-off. This was a Brett Rooker masterclass. Let me see if just search for it.
It's Brandon Little in his 40 era.
It's one of the guys in the bullpen. All right, here we go. Yeah, I think so. So here's his 100th. Smoked it. A's, by the way, as their new stadium gets built in Vegas, are playing like the equivalent of it's a minor league park, I think, Sutter Health, but it's always funny when you see the shots of it. I think it's kind of cool, actually. They got the field out there where you can just like throw a blanket on the hill, taking a ball game. Okay, so that was 100, and then here is the walk-off. Wanted to get the full. There we go. There it is, ball game. Not a bad way to hit your 100th and 101st home runs. That's actually a pretty beautiful shot, though. Such a shame that John Fisher, what he's done to this ball club. Still one of the highest rated games in rate game history. That final game at the Coliseum. So that was your top-rated baseball game of the day. Congratulations to Brett. He rocks his 100th and 101st home run. And we have so tomorrow we have the quarterfinals in the Champions League, and that is going to be the first foray into Champions League football, soccer on RateGame. We're going to have to manually add the game. So we'll start it off as we always do. Whenever we introduce a league, we always throw up a classic just to get the awareness out there and get folks rating the games. But you'll be able to select your favorite team, your favorite Champions League team. And then we're going to, in the same way that we did for the World Baseball Classic and the hockey, the Olympics, where I was manually adding the games after they finished. That's what we'll do for the Champions League, just because we don't actually have like the full stats and the full package. We're kind of doing it mid-flight here, but we wanted to get it out because this is the year of soccer. This is the year of international football, so to speak. And we want to have all the leagues, or as many as we can, to, just kind of spread the word and get more fans on RateGame. So that's coming tomorrow. Very exciting. And that is, I think, our show today.
We've got the leaderboard before the game.
We did it yesterday.
Okay. That's it.
That's it. Nice. All right. So
Excited for today.
yeah, got our T3 shirts on. Who did you pick?
Do you want to show it?
Yeah, who did you pick?
After the performance on Saturday, I picked Michigan. Even though I want UConn,
You picked Michigan?
but I want UConn.
Okay.
But no, I don't know if I want UConn anymore.
Let's check in on. All right, so we got 68 picks now. Oof. Yeah, it's not looking good for UConn.
After Michigan's performance,
Reminder, folks, on the final game this evening, you have to predict the score. Let me back out of here. So you can do this online. Just do that one more time. Predict score. Boom. Pops it up. You enter who you think is going to win and by how much. And that's going to be very interesting to see. I wonder if Jimmer and Packers, let's just go to the leaderboard one more time, just because this is just so juicy. 52 a pop. So even if they both, you've been too scared. Yeah. So here's how I think UConn wins. UConn wins with Alex Caravan and Terrace Reed having the games of their lives, plural. And who? Braylon Mullins. I would, if you get like 3 threes from Braylon Mullins, that's a win. It's got to be Caravan and it's got to be Terrace Reed. And with Mara in the post coming off that game where his confidence is at an all-time high, Jalen Rose challenged them to cut down the net. Dang.
I don't know what that means.
So the Michigan team that won the championship that lasted it. It's called they have this nickname in sports called the Fab Five. They were like the most prolific Michigan men's basketball team. They all ended up having pretty good NBA careers. Actually, I don't know if all of them did. I know Chris Webber and Jalen Rose were like the two that came out of that. They had the longest NBA careers, but not since then has Michigan been this good. And these Fab Five have been like, since they entered that March Madness, they've been like slowly becoming more vocal and more visible at the games. Like they were all there last game, and now they're going to obviously all be there tonight. So I didn't know that Jalen Rose did that. They never won. Oh, because of Weber's timeout, right? Yeah. That's crazy. Why do they get so much attention if they never won it? Because it's just commercial? Because they're just so easily marketable? Yeah, because they have that incredible nickname. Yeah, well, because I think the craziest thing that happened to them, I thought that they recovered from that flame. Thank you for calling me out. The craziest thing that happened to them is this guy.
Because they were revolutionary.
They were revolutionary. This guy, Chris Webber, made like an all-time blunder. He called a timeout when they didn't have a timeout, and they got a technical foul and ended up like losing them the game. And so he had, like, before he even played a game in the NBA, he had this like huge blemish on his basketball career. Telling my producer about the C-Web's timeout for those who know at home. So Yeah. I guess that also has me thinking like, if Terrence Reed is such a beast. Yeah. Unsung hero of the tournament. I absolutely love watching him play. He's been my favorite player by far. Well, it'd be interesting to see too. Now you guys got me thinking. We do community games, all leagues. Go to CBB. Oh, I know why. That's right. Because we added the players late, so they're not going to be assigned to the college basketball, but we can see who has the most votes. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. Wouldn't you know it? The two teams left standing. Yaxel and Braylon. Wow.
Wow, fun fact, Reed is a transfer from Michigan.
I know. That's great call, Flame. They said that on the last broadcast. And I mean, not surprising. There's so many transfers these days. It's crazy to keep tabs on all of them. Like everybody, I feel like at one point or another has played for every other school. But look at this. So outside of Luka, the two most votes this year.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It is.
Because of Braylon shot and because of Yaxel, it's just like,
I love that Tyler Tanner made it.
yeah. Hill and Ortega Owe. It's crazy. Like as the tournament marches on, these guys just go further. Yeah. Sports fans, man.
Tyler Tanner's there,
That's right. He really did. He earned it. So yeah, one of these two hopefully will get player of the game, and then they will surpass Luka and they'll have the crown for 2026, at least for the time being. That'll be cool to see. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't think UConn can do it. I hope we get a good game. I hope we get a green. That's what I can hope for. That's what I can hope for tonight for the championship game, for T3, for all the ball knowers and the ball lovers out there. So get your picks in, rate some games. It's a beautiful day to rate games. Don't forget to predict the score when you rate the game. And that is our show. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dick Mark George. See you tomorrow.